Welcome to this episode of ET Talks. We got my man Doug Rubenstein representing 03.
Yes, sir.
Seems so long ago right now. And we got my
Because
man Yvon 08.
What's up?
Also seems so long ago.
Yeah.
Well, what's good? How's everybody doing?
Can't call it. Sleeping a little bit better.
Straight.
Okay,
Straight.
cool.
So,
All right, so let's get this started. We're gonna start with you, Doug, and then after that, Yvon, you can answer. I just want to know, explain to everybody your introduction to basketball, Maplewood, South Orange, and what it was, and kind of what it was like your freshman year going into Columbia High School. After he's done, Yvon, you can answer.
yeah, that's fine.
I guess my introduction, I moved into South Orange in second grade. Everybody know my pops. He's always a basketball guy. All type of clinics. That South Orange Rec Clinic, I guess, was probably the first organized one. And you and I played on the YMCA, which was another one that, where I think a lot of guys from Columbia would play for that team.
Regional championship, by the way, sixth grade. The other team that we lost in the championship.
Oh, yeah, we won. No, we won that cluster tournament in Albany. 100%.
Definitely.
They was cheating.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, and then South Orange Rec and rap. I guess I played for rap as well. Still mad at Odin because he wanted to have his damn AAU team instead of continuing that 7th and 8th grade team. Because I think we would have played together, Eddie, earlier than.
I think not actually, because remember in 7th grade I quit rap, and then he had his AAU team. I quit that too, and he called me, cursed me out at my dinner table, and told me I would never make the team.
Oh well. Well, the thing is, he had that AAU team, right? He started that AAU team that you wouldn't have been able to try out for anyway. He should have just cut that, and then we all would have played for that year. Like that was big for my development, my personal development, as far as like my handle and just repetitive everything. I think I guess I thank him for that, but also fuck him for not for not having that year. I sat the bench for a year. Didn't get no burn as a 7th grader. And he was like, yeah, next year's your year. Next year's your year. Yeah, nah. And then he didn't even have the balls to call me to be like, they wasn't going to have it. He had his aunt or whoever that was that called and said they wasn't going to do that. But
for those that don't know, though, that introduction was the first introduction to a live crowd.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
that's true.
What I mean? The 7th, 8th grade games had Maplewood, South Orange looking like a Columbia game.
I used to come in my best outfit just to go ride the bench, because the girls, afterwards would still show love because I just had a jersey on. It's pretty dope, but that was cool. But and that was and then 8th grade had 8th grade rec, but in Maplewood and South Orange, I guess we had a little rivalry, Maplewood versus South Orange. We never beat y'all, but we would always get up for that game. But yeah, man. Oh, you know what else, Eddie? Oh, I don't know where the hell he's at, because he's gonna get a kick out of this. I remember the story. You know what else, Eddie? Remember Immaculate Heart of Mary?
Do I?
Yo, remember David Fuentes got the MVP over us?
Burns me to this day.
I remember your pops went up to him and was like, Fuentes? Right? And then and he was like, well, he made every game. He was out every game. But me and you, we left, I think, for a couple of different games.
Yeah, we missed a couple games because you had no, that wasn't 6th. Was that 6th or 5th grade?
That was sixth grade.
6th grade. Okay, grade. So yeah, we and you.
We had YMCA games.
We had YMCA games, and we had suburban games. So yeah.
Like, well, he made every game, so we gave him MVP.
And they wanted to give that MVP to him, but my first introduction
that's
to politics.
Introduction to me.
Okay.
I guess it's on Yvon now.
All right, man. All right, so just like Doug, I came to Maplewood in 2nd grade. I wasn't a basketball kid at all. I was a soccer kid at first. I'm Haitian, so the parents they automatically put you in soccer. But my cousins, you guys know them, Roboto, Ralph, Carentz. They all lived on Jacoby, so we all lived on Jacoby. So when I first got introduced to basketball,
Oh,
it
time
was
out. Robato's your cousin?
Robato's my cousin. He's my
I
older
had no
cousin.
clue, by the way.
I didn't know that either. Good.
So Robato's actually the person that introduced me to basketball because he loved Allen Iverson so much, and I just became a fan of Allen Iverson and Steve Francis, stuff like that. And all the guys on Jacoby, of course, we all meet up at Kendrick's backyard. At the time, I was a little bit too young to play, but I was always like ready to play though. But they used to always say, "Oh, Yvon, you too young, you too young." But eventually, when you're young, you get to analyze and try your hardest to play against the older guys, and eventually you start beating the older guys, and that's what introduced me to basketball in Maplewood. From there, I never played organized basketball until about sixth grade, and I remember being nervous for like camps and practices and tryouts. But Coach Greg Clark and Lenny Grace, they actually picked us up, and we took off. We ran Essex County for like the next 3 years from like sixth grade to eighth grade. We didn't win it our sixth grade year, but we won it our seventh and eighth grade year. And of course, went to Columbia after that, and the rest was history. You know what I mean?
Okay. Now, what was your freshman year like, Doug?
Freshman year, I was on JV. I remember me, you, and Phoenix all made JV. And then you got moved up to varsity after Luther Bowen towards ACL.
Mhm.
It's funny, not funny, but Chat made that decision, by the way.
He did?
Mm-hmm. He told me, well, he put me to the side. And he told me that he made that decision. He said that he felt varsity needed a shooter and not a point guard. Because, Luther was kind of like a swing. He wasn't really playing point because Mike Abdul-Khalid was playing point.
Mhm.
So he was like, because Bailey was like, send one of the guys. Send one of your freshmen, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, but to be honest, and this is real talk, I think they made the right decision because you was on fire. Like you was out there. You
I
looked
was
like,
on fire that year. I remember going 6-7 games without missing.
yep.
You remember that?
You look like we was all in the crowd, like go Eddie, go, like you know what I mean, on the low, even whether we was winning or not, like we was like, well, Eddie got his buckets though.
Most
But,
definitely, man. I needed that too because the fucking upperclassmen fucking hated my guts and didn't want me to shine. You know what I'm
I
saying?
remember that.
So thank
All
you
right.
for that. I needed it from somewhere. All that negative energy on the team, except for my man G and all the seniors, yeah. But I had the discussion with Dez. Dez and Mike Abdul-Qadir was cool too, but the rest of them pretty much, I don't know what their problem was.
Yeah, man.
It's real.
But yeah, but our JV year was pretty successful. We had Chap as a coach. He was pushing us. We was in tip top shape. Our team I did was me, Omar, also on that squad, Fritz, Matt Mead, obviously Phoenix. Me and V started together. Dapo was whenever he played, he did his numbers. Who was on that squad? Dejan was on that squad. Fred,
Omar, Perm,
Big Perm obviously was on the squad, but he quit every year.
Ramon, Fritz, them dudes. I remember that.
Yeah. Nah, it was we were a good squad. Not really well gelled. But we did all right. I think we lost in like the semifinals of the county, I believe.
So I think you guys lost in the championship, if I'm not mistaken. Montclair, right?
Nah, the next year we lost in the chip. We lost in the semis my freshman year.
Okay.
But it was that was a fun year. It was just good to play up, on JV, and play against the varsity in practice, right, and kind of get thrown around a little bit and get a little bit of a feel of what the next year would be. I think it was one of my more fun years, and the adjustment to having like Chap as a coach, because he was a real college coach. Like he treated us like a college, and in fact, we ran. So Kenny went to Montclair State, right, for his second 2 years. My brother went to Montclair State for his second 2 years of college. And Chap actually played for his college coach in college. So I'm looking at the way that their defenses are ran, and it is Chap's exact same defenses. The way they ran their man-to-man, the way they ran their pressure, the way they ran their 1-3-1, where they only trapped in the bottom corners. Like that was how Kenny ran his college stuff, and that's how we was doing, freshmen. That's what Chap was teaching us in high school. So that was a good deal. But yeah, my freshman year was fun.
Cool. What about you, Yvon?
Freshman year, also like Doug, I played JV too. They was on us ever since 8th grade. Pretty much, they wanted us to play JV. So as soon as we walked in, we already was playing JV. I had a really good squad. We had a really good squad. We had Kason Frierson. You guys all know Kason.
Yep.
Terrell Carter, of course. Spencer Elmira. We had a few guys, man. But my freshman year was so significant for me because I finally learned how to really play basketball because I had Coach Scott. And Coach Scott really was the one that put us onto basketball. He put us on the AAU basketball. That's how we met Brian Crawford and the North Rams. And, it was so monumental in my life. I mean, it taught me how to work and play hard. And then, of course, you get all the experience playing against the varsity, like you said. So freshman year was fun, man. It was an experience. And it was just the beginning, honestly, because from there, I feel like basketball really took off.
Coach Scott. I remember Coach Scott. Remember him, Doug?
Coach Scott was my guy, yeah.
Coach Scott taught to you without looking, man.
Word.
The guy over there. That screen. Then you go. Coach Scott, my man. I forgot all about him, yo. That is hilarious. Damn.
Yeah, that's a blast from the past. That's a blast from the past.
Yeah, he was definitely a great coach.
Yeah.
So, Doug, after your freshman year, right, your sophomore year, it's like a crowded team. A lot of people was on the team from the year before. Y'all had one of the best, probably the best JV team in the county.
Yeah, we definitely did.
Got screwed up because just kind of explain what was going on though, because I had Omar and Atron, you know what I'm saying, and Rodney, and they was talking about that year kind of, and how it was kind of like it was just a turmoil. It was like the scene between the sophomores and juniors that was on the team that year, and it just the chemistry was pathetic. It seemed like.
So what's crazy is that for me, you know how I always was. I didn't feed into that because I was so exposed from a basketball standpoint to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I was always playing in Maplewood with y'all. We had the YMCA teams. I didn't have any issue with anybody from Maplewood or any of the upperclassmen. And then the guys from South Orange, which was the majority of the juniors, were from South Orange, right? So those were my guys forever anyway. So as I was watching the other shows, I was like, I had to think to myself, yo, what is this turmoil they was talking about? But then I did some deeper thinking, and it definitely was, right? There definitely was a rift. But that was a rift that it wasn't felt by me because I was easily on both sides of I was just playing. I was balling. But what I will say is that our team changed after Chap was no longer our coach. The rotations changed. We used to do 5 in, 5 out. You know what I'm saying? We used to press all game, and we would be up by 15, 20 points by halftime. Our team was insane. Now we had a lot of juniors. I remember, OC was on the team. He was dunking in JV games. I remember the East Orange coach wasn't too happy about that. But sidebar, you remember when he dunked in Randolph and he went over and he flexed in front of Mrs. Penn?
Yeah.
and ran up in the stands while they tried to go shoot a layup. Yo, OC was a nut. But after Chap got fired, I think is when, we still only lost 3 games. We were 20-3 for the season. But we lost our first loss was to Roxbury, which I blame Chap for that loss.
I used to hate them Roxbury games, man.
Yeah, I hated Roxbury too. I blame Chap for that loss, and here's why. he wrote on the board, refuse to lose, right? Not lose, but loose. And then Fritz, smartass, was like, refuse to lose, guys. And everybody laughed, and we just were not ready to play that game. Like, our mind state was not in a way. Like, I literally was thinking the whole time, refuse to lose the whole game, right? And then all of a sudden it was closer than it. I was like, oh, shit, right? Yeah, we lost to Roxbury. We lost to Seton Hall Prep the second time because we beat them the first time. And then we lost to, I think, and then we lost to Montclair in the championship of the county. In Montclair's gym, and with Montclair's refs, it was that was a game where that was bad. But for all the turmoil we had a lot of success. I just think that there were guys that really just didn't want to play JV though, like they really wanted to be on varsity. I was one of them, right? I wanted to play varsity myself, but y'all was stacked. You know what I'm saying? Y'all went 20-4. Y'all only lost to 2 teams the whole season. You know what I mean? Like, and so, there just wasn't any space. Like Bailey probably should have made space. There was definitely.
I mean, there's definitely some extra bag on the team. He did.
Yeah, now
like if I was
would that have messed,
man, yeah,
right. Would that have messed up chemistry? Like a guy like like Stanley Bernard didn't play. You know what I mean? But he was everybody's guy. Like he was a glue guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got Arnie Penn didn't play. Like, Baron Weir didn't play. Like, there was definitely, spots for guys, but also that also made the practices, like the practices for me were better than the games because we would go at y'all. Like we wanted to take y'all spots on varsity as JV players. And so that was like, it was competitive no matter what. Like we would beat y'all. But I remember getting kicked out of one Saturday practice where y'all did not come to play and we was wild hype and we beat y'all like twice in a row. And then Bailey kicked us out of practice. That was a highlight for the year. But yeah, man, I don't know. It was a good deal. That sophomore year was really successful, and I thought we would take that momentum in the junior year. But
all right, Yvon, you had a sophomore year. It was kind of, I guess,
it's trash, man. Because I was caught in the middle of playing JV and varsity. So New Jersey has this rule where if you play JV, you can only play a certain amount of quarters, which was
5 quarters, right? Yeah.
5 quarters in total throughout the whole series of games. So I would play 2 quarters of JV, score like 20 in both quarters, and then go sit on varsity. So whole bench when you have dudes like not knocking anybody, but I felt as though I was better than dudes like Crandall Chestnut and Daryl Terry and all the dudes that were older than me, but I just didn't get the experience because, they were the coaches' guys, you know what I mean? So it's like I'm caught in the middle of being better than certain players, but being too good to play JV, so I have to sit and waste my year, which was very frustrating, especially as a high school kid. You ready to take everybody's head off, but it worked out for the best though. I mean, so we lost it. We end up losing my sophomore year. We end up matter of fact for that same reason. My sophomore year, we went to the county finals in both JV and varsity. Unfortunately, both of the games were on the same day, so I had to go play JV in the morning. I only played 2 quarters. I played the second quarter and I played the fourth quarter. Of course, we go up like 20 for the first 2 quarters, and then I had to sit the third quarter of JV, and we dwindled the lead. We lost it to science. We were playing science at the time, and we was killing them. I was dunking on dudes like he was tight. Come fourth quarter, we down like 20 after being up 20. So it's like, damn, the whole complex changed. We end up trying to come back. We end up losing by like 5. I only played 2 quarters, so I was really hurt because I'm pleading to Coach Scott yo, put me in. I'm not going to play varsity anyway. Just put me in. Let me play the 3 quarters. But unfortunately, the game before that, I played varsity 2 quarters because of people getting in foul trouble, which never happens and shit. So it's like I never played like, you know what I mean? It was always Daryl or Eric or somebody was ahead of me. And I'm like, no offense, I'm better than these guys. Hold on.
And okay, Doug.
Yeah.
All right, so kind of explain to me what was going on. Junior year comes, right? Now it's really just there's about 4 people left over, but you know, a lot of people in JV were quality varsity players anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I remember, you know, you, Omar, you know, I kind of couldn't wait for the upperclassmen to get out of the way because you know they ain't letting me no way, assuming. So, but my junior year was kind of when I really started. Like my sophomore year, my freshman year, I don't want to say I didn't really care if we won or lost, but you know, it wasn't like my junior year, my senior year. I felt, you know, I felt more responsibility for,
Right.
you know, a loss if we did lose. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So, explain to me what happened. Our junior year was kind of up and down, right? We kind of.
Yo, honestly, so check this out. My dad, during the quarantine, went through all of our games, all of them. Yo, we sucked junior year. We were a bad team playing against worse teams. Like we had talent. We were a talented group, but we were a bad basketball team. Bailey could not coach us, bro. He didn't know what he had with us, which goes into the investment in the community. He didn't want to coach us. It was clear. He didn't want to coach us.
Yeah.
But the beginning of junior year, he actually started me on JV. That first game against Morristown, I played JV and got no burn on varsity. The next day, remember we played Morristown and Seton Hall back-to-back days, right, to start the season? Mm-hmm. So I was literally on JV the day before. I started varsity against Seton Hall Prep the next day.
I remember that. I did because I was out for a minute. I didn't play that Seton Hall game.
I remember. The
Morristown game, I got hurt. I was hurt out the whole summer and the whole what's name anyway. I had like a terrible, I broke my nose and I broke my ankle. So I was out for like damn near half the first part of the year. And I remember the first game, this fool stepped on my ankle again. He Zaza Bachu me again. My ankle blew up after like the first or second quarter or something like that. And I was trying to play the rest of the game. And Bailey was just like, yo, you got to sit up. You can't move. So I'm like, all right. And then, you know, y'all went on, you know, I think we went on. We were kind of still trying to find ourselves. And then, you know, a couple people get dropped, you know, they dropped.
I mean, it was such a weird, like, he had this thing with me. Like, he just wanted to teach me some type of lesson, right? Like, you know me, like, I'm a leader vocally, you know, like, that's just who I always was as a point guard. I'm telling people where to go. I know the offense back and forth. You know, mentally, like, I'm always there, right? I don't think he liked that very much. And so he had this cat and mouse game with me all season. It was really, really weird. It started on the first game. Again, I was on JV, and then I started varsity the next game, and I think he felt like he did something. But that said, that whole season was like, we were just not a good team. We just out-talented a bunch of other worse teams. And we never rose to the level that we needed to. We lost to fucking Shabazz at home in the counties. That was an embarrassing loss.
2 free throws with 2 seconds left. I was having a good game too, yo. Oh, man.
Me too. Dog, yo, I scored 11 points in that second quarter. I scored 11 in the second quarter, and I barely played in the third quarter. Yeah. Bailey was just weird. It was such a weird year. I don't remember us having much offense except for like the staggered screen where you went off the staggered screen. I had a lot of assists to you in that. You know, and you know, Phoenix obviously had the green light. and Phoenix used his green light a lot. Like, listen, Phoenix is dead nice. We all know that, but we weren't a basketball team. Like,
He
if
probably
you
should have
were,
moved him off the ball.
yeah. I mean, when I was in the game, and it's funny. Like I said, my dad went through all this. When I was in the game, Phoenix shot his percentage shot way up because he didn't have to handle the ball. He didn't have to be the point guard.
Mm-hmm.
And frankly, and not that I'm this magical player who makes everything better, but we played better when I was in the game. Like
Oh,
that
no,
just
man. Me and Russ, we talk about it all the time. We love playing with Doug, man. Doug
feels
gave
good, man.
perfect passes right in the shooting pocket, bro.
It's not that hard. Just throw it in the pocket. Bang. You know what I mean?
Always look for other play. Always made you were a real point guard, though. You were a true point guard. You're
Thank
one of
you.
the only true point guards I played with. A lot of other point guards were like really two guards that, just could handle, what I'm
Right.
saying? But you definitely was a true point guard. It was a pleasure playing with you, actually.
I remember seeing Doug play at Wesleyan, and Doug was nice. He was controlling the show like you said, man. He know the offense in the back of his head. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that was my strength, but I Bailey just didn't like that. For some reason, whatever the reason was. But it was a disappointing junior year. Like we never had chemistry. I think a lot of it was your injury, right? Didn't help because, like it was you and H were really the only guys that got burned coming back, right? Because Phoenix didn't get that much clock, as a sophomore. And then obviously, and Ramon got cut, right? So, it was really like, y'all two had chemistry and then other people had chemistry. I think I played very well with Omar. I played very well with Big Perm. I had to relearn how to play with you, Eddie. You know what I mean? And everybody else. So it was that was when I look back at junior year, I was not happy with the way that we played. And frankly, I do, I don't think Bailey wanted to coach us. I think Coach Chap would have ended up, had he not got fired, he would have ended up taking over for our junior year varsity. And I think if he was our coach, we would have went crazy. Like I think we would have had a way better year. I think we ended up losing to Plainfield, right? Andre Dabney and Muhammad. We ended up losing to them in the States. But I going into that game, like OC was taking pictures in the locker room, like happy that he made it. It was a really weird feeling in that locker room. And even like the fervor with which people were playing, it was like they were just happy to be on the stage. And I was like, no, nigga, we gotta fucking win. I wasn't happy. I'm still not happy. So yeah, man, junior year was not good.
And Vaughn, what was it like for you your junior year? That's when I came on the coaching staff, and it was, that was you and Jamil's year, man. That was Pippen and, I wasn't even Pippen and Jordan. It was more Jordan and Jordan. But it was a great tandem, man. Y'all really took over. Conference is a little weak, so y'all definitely was killing these dudes. You know what I'm saying? Kind of explain what the difference was between your junior year and your sophomore year, and you know what I mean?
My junior year, finally all the seniors graduated, so I finally got to start playing. So I was already excited about that. And like you said, me and Jamil, we played all the way from 6th grade through 8th grade, and then our sophomore year. So we already had that chemistry. We already knew exactly how we played, like what each other liked to do. So it was just a two-headed monster pretty much. And I think we probably won over like 20. We always won over 20 games. But it was just when we get to the playoffs, we just crashed. But I always thought it was because, and not to not Coach Hill, but Coach Hill didn't put us to our max because we never played anybody significant in the season to help us prepare for the postseason, and it always showed. You know what I mean? But yeah, we was two-headed monster, man. We both averaged over 20 points. I probably averaged like 8 rebounds. Jamil averaged like 9 assists. So it was just a crazy difference from my sophomore year to not playing at all through basically running the whole conference. You know what I mean?
Okay. And then Doug, our senior year comes, kind of explain, Coach Hill comes in, kind of explain what the difference was between Bailey and Coach Hill and what the senior year was like for us.
That was night and day. Difference between Bailey. I mean, well, first of all, Hill wanted to be there. That first, I don't know if you remember that first meeting he had with all of us in the cafeteria, right? He asked, he introduced himself. He asked, "Are there any questions?" And I said, "So what kind of offenses and defenses are we going to be running?" And he was like, "Who is this kid?" Right? He always tells me this too. Like he's like that. He said he was taken aback. He said he was offended and impressed. That it would be a teenager would come and ask him these questions, but I think that his coaching style it worked with us in the way that we like to play, in the way we grew up playing. Like he wanted to pressure a lot. He allowed us to shoot. Our offense was guard oriented and spread out. And it showed. I think if we had 2 years with him, I think we would have been a better team. But I think our team, we had a good fucking team, man. Like, I think our chemistry was really good. Mark would always get the first bucket. I think of all the games, I think he probably like 85% of the games he would get the first bucket. I think we were shooting the lights out. Russell was everywhere. I think we all ended up scoring. Everybody was scoring in double figures for a lot of games. Like we had a lot of games where it would be like 4 or 5 people in double figure scoring. We had Jeff Middleton in the middle. And off the bench, we had Tex. We had Namdi came in and gave us really good minutes down the stretch of that season. Who else on our squad? I can't even remember anything.
Russell.
Yeah, so I said Russ was Russ was everywhere and everything.
Kevin Hauser.
Yeah, Kev Hauser was on there with us.
Jeff Middleton.
Yeah. Honestly, man, I'm still mad at Jeff Middleton.
Yo, you gotta throw Jeff in there, yo.
Listen, I'm still upset at him. You remember? So we lost to Morristown in the States.
Mm-hmm.
We came back on them, right? You was out of your mind, Eddie. There were two games where you were just out of your mind. Morristown was one of them. I think you had like 7 straight points. I hit a 3 in the corner. And we came back. They was up in double digits, and we came back and we was down by 1. They were pressing us the whole game. I took a double team and I hit a no look to Jeff, and he missed a layup. And they came down and scored, and that took the wind out of our sails. That was like
that, and this stupid ass ref thinking it's the NBA rules. The motherfucker throws the ball. We was pressing him. He was making a comeback. Dude jumps like they throw the ball too far. He catches it out of bounds, but he jumps and calls timeout while he's out of bounds. And he gives him the timeout. So you can't do that shit, bro. This ain't the NBA.
Yeah, that was terrible. But
and Tasmar, 6. They had 2 6'8".
They had Tasmar and
6'10",
Clark,
dude.
right?
Incredible, Yvon. I'm talking Morristown was like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of who would be the equivalent for y'all. They had they was just the people that had all the dunkers, like 6'8".
Yeah, they had
dudes
Twin Towers
jumping out of their fucking mind, right?
Was super athletic.
So then Tasmar, Jeff went up for a layup, and Tasmar caught his shit on the glass with 2 hands.
Right on the glass.
I just remember that, Jeff. I didn't even help him up. They called it that.
But yeah, man,
it's crazy.
That season was good. But the other game we lost that one too, was Randolph. So Yvon, here's the story. We were losing to Randolph by, I don't know, like 15 points going into the fourth quarter, right? Like it was something like that. And Coach Hill was talking, and Eddie stopped, was like, "Yo, give me the ball. I'm gonna make it. I swear to God." Right? He said it just like that. He was like, "Yo, give me the ball." Eddie wasn't paying attention to Coach Hill at all. He goes, "Give me the ball. I make it. I swear to God, I'm gonna make it." I gave him that ball every single time in that fourth quarter. He had like 6 threes in that fourth quarter. Like it was crazy. And we almost, I think we ended up losing by 2. But that was one of the best performances that I've ever been a part of, where somebody was like just straight took over. Like that was a lot of fun.
That shooting pocket, Yvon, talking about. You need that nice point guard to come off the screen.
The highlights are on YouTube. You see, like I would float passes like Russell Wilson right to him in the shooting pocket. and it was cash.
One thing I remember is getting the ball, right? This is where I thought I hit like the fifth three, right? I was like, I had the ball, and he was just like, take him. I was like, yo, I haven't been working on this move, but I was like, I bet you I could do this. So I stepped back. I was like 4 or 5 feet behind the line. He had went the other way. And I was like, oh, shit. I was like, if I shoot this and make this would be incredible. I shot it. I made it. I shot it extra strong, so I thought it was going off. And that shit went in. I'm like, some days it's just your day.
It was like angels in the outfield. Like, it was just the ball was just going in. That was crazy.
Incredible.
But yeah, man, I think that season for me was a lot of fun. I think we underachieved. I remember we got crushed. We beat West Side in the counties. Eddie, I remember you came to me. I was shooting a lot more in that game. And you came to me, was like, yo, chill. I was like, you good. Ended up with like 19 points that game. But we beat West Side and then we lost to East Side terribly.